Cox Automotive is a collection of companies that help people buy, sell, and own cars. I am the manager of operations technology. I work with a lot of the monitoring tools to make sure that we know whether our applications are up and running as our customers expect. And it is difficult because of the dependent processes, the dependent services, third party and internal. It's not enough just to know that this disk space and this CPU and these service calls are taking this long. It's not enough that the website is loading, but it has to load within a reasonable amount of time. A lot of the other people that do synthetic testing run from the cloud to the cloud where our services are. And we need to know what it's like to get to our services for the people that are all over the United States. So Catchpoint gives us the perspective of what it's like to reach our applications from all across the country. Because we have dependent services between our different data centers and the cloud, communication between those services is critical. So what we ended up doing is putting Catchpoint's private nodes at each of our data centers and in cloud locations and create a mesh of communications between those areas so that we can see if the path between those area changes or the quality of the connection between those area changes. This has helped us out when we've had disruptions between two data centers where only one of the carrier was experiencing a disruption, and we were able to send all the traffic to the healthy carrier. And that actually did stop us from having or feeling an impact. Things are better with Catchpoint because it gives us another way of viewing our data and letting us help us narrow down and fix the service more quickly. Being able to compare that performance today with what it was last week or knowing what my beginning of the month performance was can be really helpful in troubleshooting an issue. As I do love the BGP monitoring, so you can actually watch how people are going through the internet and reaching your services, and also see when those changes take place as far as the path that they're taking to get to you and how that can impact service. We had a situation where, in using Catchpoint, where we rolled out testing it was a pretty simple load balanced application. Basically, there was 5 ways to enter the application behind the load balancer. And with Catchpoint, we saw that 20% of our transactions were failing. One of the routes that people could be entered in, we were just sending them to a black hole. It didn't trigger any other alarms because it wasn't happening frequently enough. But when you really brought up the chart, you could look at it and say okay, this is happening like clockwork. And at this percentage, it's something wrong with the load balancer. And they've been very open in engaging those processes, finding things that we didn't see. The service has been fantastic. They've set up monthly meetings with us to kind of review new features. The way that we can get face to face with somebody or Zoom to Zoom with somebody and say, hey, here's the issue that we're having. Can we see this? Or can you help us with this? Also taking feedback. We've talked about here's our use case for a longer retention policy. They've also been working on tools to help us export data so that we can kind of do our own reporting as well. So they make functionality available to us. For Cox Automotive, the customer's experience is the most important thing. Catchpoint is a tool that focuses on capturing that experience. It's giving us what people are seeing across the country in reaching our services so that we know or can be more confident that we're delivering the services that we think we're delivering.